y'all, this is Arya Soul, and today I have with me a special guest, one half of Double Trouble, thing number one, my firstborn, Kennedy, or as we're going to call her, Miss K today. And the reason I have her with me is because we're going to talk about a movie that's coming out. It's called 8th Grade, and when I saw the previews for this movie, I thought, what would make someone make a movie about 8th grade? Then I sat back and I thought about it. 8th grade is that time when you are going through a whole lot. First of all, you're in your adolescent stage. Most of them are at least between, 12, 13, 14. And we all know with that stage, a lot of things that are going on are internal as well as external. I mean, chemical, hormonal imbalances are going on, as well as the people around you are changing, be it their voice or their bodies, and they have adolescence, and more importantly, things like social media to deal with. And that's a lot. So I wanted to bring my 8th grader going into the 9th grade with me to talk about this. And I want to ask her some questions, kind of like interview style. And hopefully she can feel comfortable enough to answer them as honestly as she can. So first I want to ask for her to introduce herself.
As you know, my name is Miss K. I'm 14 years old. I'm heading to 9th grade, and I'm getting used to leaving friends and transitioning to high school.
Okay, so you're going into high school. It's a big step. I can understand that. So we're going to talk about some of the things that you dealt with in the 8th grade. I want to ask you about pressures. Did you feel pressures in any way while you were in 8th grade to do anything? And I mean pressures from your teachers or your peers or whatever. Like, what was some of the things that you had to deal with in the 8th grade that may have caused a little anxiety for you?
The pressure of not wanting to disappoint your parents, the pressure of wanting to stay together, the pressure of looking good to the people around you, the pressure of knowing everything about you as in sexuality, what you want to do, the pressure of everyone doing this and you feel like you need to do it too, like drugs or alcohol or getting this and getting that. So yeah, and also work as well.
Okay, so you had to do like we call it a work-life balance. In this case, a work-school balance. You had your work to deal with, the pressures from your teachers as far as getting things done. And then you also had your pressures from peers, or as they say, peer pressures, How would you say social media played a role in this? And the reason why I'm asking that, because a lot of times I like to compare your childhood to mine. And that's not really something I should do, because first of all, if I can even remember my childhood or my 8th grade year going into the 9th grade year, one thing we did not have, and this is major, is social media. So yes, we dealt with joning. I tell her about joning all the time. I have some people who are still my Facebook friends to this day that I can call by first and last name, but I won't, who was so good at joning, and it's like, I want to be that way. But I mean, they will fire you up like, your mother so, you so this, you so dirty, you so short, you so ugly, your hair so nappy, and it will go on, and they can go back to back to back. I mean, and we would just laugh at it. Even if I was the subject of the joning, I would just laugh at it. For the most part, it didn't bother me that much. But now, how does that compare to what they do now?
Well, now, since we have the internet, they can do it on the internet, and also there's things we call trolls on the internet, so and just even trolls in person, it gets way deeper than just your appearance. Now, like, if they know personal things about you, they'll bring that up, or if they know you're going through something, they'll try to bring that up and make it a joke when it might be a serious problem. And sometimes people do it to make them feel like they're bigger, or like they kind of try to intimidate people.
Okay, and you all don't call it joning no more, do you?
No, we say like, I'm about to roast you or flame you, something like that.
Flame you, yeah. You do feel like you on fire when it's happening. Yeah. Okay. So, and speaking of that, with those pressures and with the roasting and with the trolling, the whole social media piece, was there anything else that you noticed differently about the 8th grade versus maybe 7th grade or so on and so forth that you had to try to navigate a little bit better, like as far as like what your requirements were from your teachers per se?
Yeah, because before the requirements were to have this here, this here, this here, remember this throughout the days, and then as time progresses and things like that, it's more of a you, like they're not telling you to do, and then also like other things, like it's just a lot, I guess.
Okay. So what you're trying to say, if I may, is that what you notice in the 8th grade versus the 7th and years before that, your teachers expected you to work more independently. So they would give you in what they call a syllabus, saying that this is what you have to do and this is when it has to be done. And it's kind of like on you. They don't ping you every 5 minutes or every other day like did you do this, did you do this. They're expecting you to get it done.
Yeah, and another thing about like navigating, navigate your way through like your friends and whatnot, because as things change, they change as well. So you start losing and gaining them, and out of situations that you might have caused, but you were put in. So you gotta work through that as well.
Okay, all right. So a lot of things going on around this time. I want to mention also, along with the movie that's coming out, 8th grade, there was something that the school encouraged the parents to watch, which was a series on Netflix called 13 Reasons Why. And at first I was like, why are they making such a big deal about this? But let me go ahead and check it out. I end up actually really liking the series. I watched season 1 and season 2. And it talks about a young lady who, I think she was in the 9th grade. I think she was entering high school.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And she had so much pressures around her, and I guess it could be considered cyberbullying and also bullying while she was in school, that it made her take her life. And so it brought that piece into it, that kids are feeling so bombarded with pressures that they have been resorting to do that. So the school wanted to alert us as parents so that we can have conversations with our children in regards to that. So I'm going to ask you this, and it's kind of like probably the last question, maybe one more, I don't know, bear with me. When you heard or saw that series, how did it make you feel? Did you ever feel like the pressures were that strong around you that something like that could even be an option? And you don't even have to answer that if that's too personal, but did you have to deal with people around you saying things such as that they were so fed up with what was going on, be it at home and at school, that they just didn't know who to turn to?
I didn't like experience it myself or have other people I know do it. I mean, experience that.
Mm-hmm.
But there were times where me and a lot of my friends can agree, like there were times where we all had like troubling things happen at home, at school, to the point where it was a thought, or sometimes some friends have like chosen self-harm over getting help. But I feel like it's all about having people around you that care about you, that can help you and whatnot.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that was good, because that kind of leads to my last question, which is, they say it takes a village to raise a child. So are you confident in your village and your tribe around you, be it your mom and dad, your aunts, your cousins, or your friends? Are you confident enough to know that if things happen within you or to you, that you can come to them to help you? Because it's important that you feel like you have someone, and now that you're entering into the 9th grade, nothing but more change is going to come about. And you can feel some type of way about them, but answer that question. Are you confident in your tribe?
Yeah, because we tell each other everything, and we haven't changed on each other. Like, we tell each other everything about us, what's happening, what happened, and even if it's something as little as like something, just little things, big things, tell each other everything, and we all help each other. And even if it's only one person out of a whole group that's helping one person, we make sure that person's getting help no matter what. If someone's sad, one of us go help them, and we always take time to make sure everyone's okay.
Okay, and that's cool. It's always good to have people around you that you feel like you can talk to, that you're never alone, because we're not alone in this world, and you don't have to feel that way. So I'm glad we took this time to talk, and with that, I want to encourage you as parents to take the time to talk to your children. A lot of times it's going to take some digging. It's a little bit harder than just saying, how was your day, or what did you do today? Sometimes you have to be very conniving with it, ask questions that catch them off guard that they wouldn't expect from you or whatever. But it's important that we keep these lines of communication open, because I don't want us to fall into the pattern of, for one, comparing our childhood to theirs, because it's very different. As I explained, things that we dealt with, they deal with it on a whole nother level, and I don't ever want us to get to a point, because I found myself sometimes saying, oh please, I mean, they got a roof over their head, they have clothes on their back, they good, like what could be wrong? But there's so many things going on, as I said before, chemically chemically there's things going on, as well as physically. Their bodies are developing and they're becoming young adults, so they need our help and we need their help. I need my children just as much as they need me. So I want to thank you all for sitting here with me. I'm about to be real awkward and get up and cut this video off, but from my soul to yours,